Hello everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I wanted to start a new little series that I like to call Question Everything, as a little nod to my Telegram channel, which is Question Everything. Because there are so many things that I've questioned my entire life, but also that I have just recently started questioning in the last few years or so. And I did this on TikTok and it was quite a hit. I did it in short form on TikTok, so this will definitely be long form. But I've compiled a list and the list keeps growing the more and more I think about. Some are very deep things that I could do probably several videos on, and some are not that deep. So it's going to be a fun little series that I'm going to create with all of these things, and I assure you the list will grow. One thing before I get started is I created a Buy Me Coffee link. I didn't even know this was a thing until I was on with Turn the Page with Janine. And I was like, that's super cool. Like, I think of it is trading. So segue into a little bit of a different topic. Bear with me. So your time or your money is a representation of your time, which is your life. So when you are buying things or giving people money, you essentially are trading a little bit of yourself into that person or that company or that whatever. So I talked about this before, but what we do at our home group is when whoever is speaking says something that someone wants a little bit of a deeper revelation on, or agrees with, or, you know, just has the intuitive pull to trade on that, they will just throw money on the floor and essentially saying, I am buying into that. I am trading into what you're saying. I am trading into your life and your revelation, basically. And the deeper understanding of that thing that was just said. And so I was like, shoot, I could do this whole buy me a coffee thing as like a little trading thing. So of course, if you want to buy me a coffee, go for it. I drink tea, but that's a whole other topic. But yeah, so there's a link under the video in the description box for buy me a coffee, and you just put in whatever amount that you want to put in, if you want to do that. So if there's something that I've said on a video that you resonate with, or you want to essentially buy into it, like hook into that concept or that idea, and you want like God to give you more, God, universe to give you more revelation on it, you trade into it. Because you're essentially trading into my revelation to get your own, basically. So that's gonna be there if you want to do it. If not, totally fine. I don't care either way. I just thought it was a cool opportunity and a cool thing to do. So getting right into this. Let's start with a fun one. It's not that fun, it's pretty serious, but I have fun talking about it. And that is why doctors, or why people go to doctors for health advice. Okay, so this has always been super confusing to me. I personally never took my child past the first initial doctor's appointment that he had at 16 days old. So I guess it was his 2-week appointment. The only reason I even took him to that one was because he was having trouble nursing, and I wanted to make sure that he was okay, because he had lost a lot of weight right when he was born because he was having trouble nursing and eating. And I wanted to make sure that, there wasn't any issue. So I went to one, and he has not been back since, and he just turned 2, as most of you know. And just this whole idea, I mean, it's totally a part of the narrative, because this whole idea that you have to rely on someone else to tell you what is wrong with your body, especially when it comes to like things that aren't big things. I totally believe in doctors being there to save your life in an emergency situation, doing whatever is possible to keep you alive. I'm totally about that. If you have just, had a super traumatic car accident, of course, go to the ER, of course. But going to like monthly checkups, yearly checkups, to make sure you're healthy by their standards of health seems a little bit ridiculous to me. And I know that this is kind of a controversial topic for a lot of people, but I, as most of you should know by now, believe that we very much should be in control of our own health and our own lives. I remember going to the doctor as a kid, because there was a stint of time where we would go to the doctor for checkups. Not that much. I really don't remember ever going that much, but every time they went, they told me that I was overweight, that I needed to lose weight as like a 6-year-old. And like, that was mostly all that I remember, because they were just going by a chart of what was normal for a 6-year-old girl. And it severely messed with my brain. And moving on into my adult life, it made me think that there was always something wrong with me, or I always could be losing weight, when really I'm a pretty healthy person. And my body just is softer in general than some people. Like Bryce, she talks about the whole doshas. I think I'm Pitta is what she has said. It's just like your body's just naturally softer, and holds a lot of muscle, but looks a little bit more stocky. That's just how my body is, and I've come to terms with that for the most part. And I will never be this stick figure, woman that's just like, straight. I have curves. I have a lot of muscle mass. I'm very active, that whole thing. And then I have, I have relatives, and I have family members and friends that continued to go to the doctor just to see if there's anything wrong. And in my head, I'm like, can't you figure that out for yourself? I'm also a very bodily aware type of person. Like, I know when things are different in my body. I just know. I know when something's off, when something's wrong, when I've done something that my body doesn't like. I just know these things. And I have come to the realization that not many people do, because we've been so brainwashed into believing that someone else knows better for us than we do, which is mind-blowing, quite honestly. And so this whole idea that you go to the doctor to get health advice is just nonsense to me, because most doctors, especially nowadays, are not trained to keep you healthy. They're trained to keep you alive. And they will give you medicines that are all synthetic chemical-based crap that your natural body should never be ingesting. And then, you'll have a side effect to that medicine, so they'll give you another one. And they'll just keep you in this cycle of addiction and pill popping for the rest of your life, because that's what makes the money. That is what the whole thing is about. If you want to get healthy and you want someone to actually care about your health, go to a nutritionist, go to a holistic nutritionist. That is where you will get healthy. That is where you will discover what your body actually needs, and given the tools to, and given the information to get the natural stuff to heal your body and help it perform and function properly. Doing detoxes, all the things. I mean, I've talked about it before. I've done that heavy metal detox and that parasite detox. And I have that link for the parasite detox in my description box also, the $50 off. But doing stuff like that is what actually keeps you healthy. A doctor will absolutely never keep you healthy. They'll just keep you alive. I attempted to do a natural home birth with Levi, and I say attempted because I was in labor for 26 hours with him, and he was trying to come out sideways with his arms above his head, so just it wasn't working. And my midwife basically told me that I needed to go to the hospital and get an epidural just so I could sleep to actually be able to push him out when he was ready to come out. So I did, after like 2 hours later, and I just couldn't take it anymore. But my whole experience in that hospital was so stressful because they were just trying to hurry up the process and make it go as fast as possible, when like childbirth is not supposed to be that. They kept wanting to push more drugs and medication to make him come out, and in that moment you could just feel like the motive behind it of, we've got to get you out of this room so we can get another person in this room so we can make more money. Like, that's all I could like sense the whole time, especially by the actual doctor that was hardly ever in the room. But yeah, it was I'm definitely on my next, whenever I have my next child, I definitely will be trying to do a home birth again, just for the reason of, so many reasons, but I don't want to be in a hospital again. But basically all this brings me back to what I always preach, and that is literally trusting yourself and being so connected to your body that you actually do know when things are off or when your body is trying to communicate to you. Because the doctors and the pharmaceutical industry will do everything but push you in that direction, because they don't make money that way. They make money off of people staying sick and staying addicted to their system. So that's fun. And then I think I shall throw in one last little short one that might piss some people off. But microwaves. Throw them away. You are literally putting microwaves of radiation, changing the chemical structure of your food, and then eating it. Your food has like, I forgot what the percentage is, but like the percentage of how much microwaves change the molecule structure of your food and basically like strip it of all nutrients is insane. Not to mention the electromagnetic frequencies that come off of the microwave when you stand in front of it or when you turn it on. Throw them away. Those are things I've always questioned. I'm not gonna lie, I've used microwaves before in my life, but we don't have one in this house, and I refused to have one in this house when we bought it 3 years ago. And we heat up stuff on in a pot or in the oven, and it works just fine and helps you practice a little bit of patience. Meditate while you're heating up your food on the stove. Anyways, so I will be doing this type of video weekly because I think it's fun. I might have ruffled some feathers, but that's okay. Because you know what happens when you're offended? absolutely nothing. You just feel offended. An offense is a fence that you just gotta jump over. And then there's the pasture of possibilities. Yeah, so I think that's all I want to say about that. I would love to know of some of the things that you guys have questioned, because it might add to my list if it's not already on here. So yeah, leave down in the comments some things, 3 things, if you've got 3 things that you've always questioned. I think it would be super interesting. And let me know your thoughts on what I just talked about. Hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.